Whenever you're ready, Dr. Gadsden, we're on live, sir.
Okay, we are ready right now. God bless everybody. It's good to see everyone. Hello, I'm Nathaniel Gadsden, and welcome to the Writer's Wordshop. And we're so glad to have you every Friday night to join us right here on The Voice, 17104 Harrisburg. And we always try to bring you some good information as well as great people, such as our very special guest tonight, Christine Titih. Christine, how are you?
I'm doing good, thank you.
All right, all right. Well, I want to turn down my phone here. I can see someone's trying to call me here. They're probably trying to get on the Writer's Workshop, but I'm just going to have to stop that and turn this. Let me see. Yeah, I have to turn this down. Sorry about that. I thought I had already done that, but I did not. For those who don't know, Christine is an author, entrepreneur, and founder of the nonprofit organization Oaks of Central Pennsylvania. She recently launched the Emerge Her campaign, which is about lifting up minority women and giving them the tools, network, and resources to succeed. Christine's first book is entitled How I Discovered My Purpose. She lives in Camp Hill with her daughter and mother, and this is one of her books called Christine Titih, 365 Days of Purpose. Yeah, absolutely. But also, I noticed that you have another book that's out that caught my eye. And you've been traveling all over the place with this. That's fantastic. And by the way, I love your outfit too, the top that you have on. Very beautiful.
Thank you. Yes, I do.
Yeah. You're originally from Cameroon, is that correct?
I am, yes, sir.
Yes. And I know you know my sister down on 3rd Street with her shop. She's from Cameroon as well. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, she is.
Good stuff. Well, tell us all about your latest book and also your recent travels. I've been following you on Facebook. I'd have loved to have been on those travels with you, but other than that, tell us about your new book.
Okay, thank you, my friend. Thank you very much for this opportunity to talk a little bit about my newest book, about the community. Okay. So this is the
There you go. Yeah. Our voices.
So our voices. It's poetry, it's short stories from different cultural perspective, mainly from Cameroon, where I grew up. So, and some of the stories also are based from my experiences and other people's experiences in the US. So it's a rich book, very rich. Like I say that myself. It has amazing its illustrations, just to show a little bit of those. Yes, it has some amazing illustrations to give it a bit more colorful, colorful aspect to it. Wow. So yes, it touches a lot on our experiences with each other, relationships with each other, relationship with God. It touches on things that we experience every day, but that we don't necessarily speak about. A lot of so it's a very, very deep book. Yes.
Fantastic. Well, I have to get my copy. I have to admit, I don't have a copy yet, but I said I'm going to get you on here. Let's talk about it, introduce it to the public, and I'm sure a lot of people already know about it. But I will be ordering it. So we order it off of Amazon, or do we get it directly from you?
You can, if you're in the greater Harrisburg area, you can get it directly from me. Just shoot me a text message or a Facebook message, and we'll meet, and I'll give it to you.
Okay, wonderful. But you can receive it. It is on Amazon.
It is, yes. It is on Amazon. You can check it using my author name, Christine Titih, Titih. It will just, pull up all books, the 3 books that are under my name.
Fantastic. Now, who did the front cover of the book?
Oh, that's my Cameroonian sister, Shiri Achuat. Yes, she is a phenomenal artist in the DMV area, Maryland. So she does a lot of portraits showing our cultural heritage. So I did reach out to her with this idea I had about the book, and she and I, we sort of worked it out, and we're able to come up with this amazing cover.
Amazing cover. I really like it. Yes, indeed. You said, did I get you right? Is she in Cameroon also, or just on the continent?
She is from Cameroon, but she resides in Maryland.
Oh, Maryland. Okay, wonderful. All right.
Yes.
So she's reachable, huh? Okay, that's good to know. Yes, indeed. That's good to know.
The amazing thing about the cover is that I actually was visiting a childcare center in Harrisburg. I think it's located on Walnut Street. They had closed.
Okay.
So I was touring the place, and in one of the restrooms they had almost something similar. So I saw it back then. I loved it. So I took a picture of it. I didn't know I was going to use it for my book, but I was like, wow, this is so amazing. This is original. So when I wrote the book, I contacted Shiri and I'm like, can we do something similar? She said, yes, we could do something similar, but we're going to put your face there. So this is my face, and this is like sort of our traditional hat, which Reverend, because Chantal sells those. So yes, so that's how we got the idea about the book.
Fantastic, fantastic. I don't know if you can adjust your sound just a little bit. It kind of goes in and out just a little bit, and I want to make sure everybody hears you loud and clear, because you have quite a story to tell. And I want to talk about all of your aspects, being an entrepreneur, your business, as well as your travels and the various things you're doing, and also your organization. Let me make sure I got that right again. It says, Emerge Her campaign. Yeah. Now, tell us a little bit about the Emerge Her campaign.
So Emerge Her, it's part of my nonprofit Oaks of Central PA, and it's focused on connecting, empowering, educating, and equipping minority women who are interested in getting into business or who are already in business. So for the past 2 years, we've done a couple of events in the greater Harrisburg area. We've had a couple of minority businesses come together to share about their story, about resources out there in the community for people like us that look like us, because our challenges are unique. And so we need a unique approach to solving those challenges. What better way than connecting with each other and learning each other? So that's how Emerge Her started. And this year we decided to do that leap of faith and take it to a global platform. Yes. And where else than the motherland? So that's how the idea came about, to take it to Kigali, Rwanda. And that's what we did this June. This June, we're in Kigali, and we had a 2-day Emerge Her.
And how many people did you have actually attend? You said in Rwanda?
Yes, in Rwanda. We had about 60 attendees that participated for the 2 days event.
Okay. There was someone speaking, someone came on and they were talking. I'm not sure who that is. Yeah. Is that someone that's
that's a friend.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, very good. Yeah, just let them know that okay. Go ahead. They did mute, so that's good. I'm sorry. So tell us more. I'm sorry I cut you off on that. But how many do you think you had at the conference? I saw it on Facebook. It looked like it was fantastic.
Yes, we had about 60 attendees, and yes, it was a very vibrant crowd. Well, I would say 90% of them were already in some sort of business that they were doing. So the engagements and the questions they were asking our speakers was really very deep and hands-on questions that they were asking. So it was a very enriching experience for me. We had a business pitch competition where we had eight business ideas compete among themselves, and it was really very interesting to see how these young Africans, were able to come up with very innovative business ideas. For example, one of the winners, he's trying to develop fabric for banana, banana peelings. Yes, that was his business idea. I'm just amazed to just see this young generation of Africans going above the limitations that is in the continent that we all know about, really come up with ideas that can change their lives and change the lives of their communities.
Yeah, yeah. How do you feel that the African community is faring here in central Pennsylvania or even in the country when they create businesses? Are they being supported by people of all races and cultures, especially the African American community? Are we supporting African businesses?
That's a deep question. Oh my goodness. Yes. The African community especially in this central PA, greater Harrisburg area, faces a lot of challenges. In terms of the communication, which is a key one. You have lack of access to resources, lack of access to capital, which is very important to start a business. So those are the main challenges that they experience. And that's why most of the time when someone is getting into business, they try to get their brothers and their sisters that are already in business to try to help. So we have that system where we try to help each other. That's why we tend to cluster a lot in particular industries. For example, the health human field, for example, we're clustering there because that's where most of us are doing well. And so everybody, the rest want to follow because that's all we are comfortable with. We don't want to go and explore other areas because it's like if I venture in an area where another African is not in there, I might not get the support. I don't know what to expect. So I'm just going to stick in my comfort zone and do what everyone else is doing, which is not really good. It's not good because you see, I always say that it's easy to get rid of a group of people when they're just that when they're we are all do the same thing. It's very easy for a policy to come back. Okay, it was going to be a policy, and then it will just shut down half of the businesses that operate in that area. For community to be sustainable, we have to have businesses in different industries so that we can really ensure that for continuity.
Yeah. Well, for those people just tuning in, we're talking to author and entrepreneur Christine Titih. She has a wonderful new book out, but how many books do you have out, by the way? How many books have you produced?
I have three.
Wonderful. One's a devotional that I have in my hand here, and I'll hold this up again. It's a wonderful book, by the way, 365 Days of Purpose, a devotional manual and a journal, actually, a devotional journal. And it is really well done, and it's interactive, so you can write in it, and it gives you a lot of of information and everything. But also your other book that you have now, if you want to hold that cover up one more time. Yeah. Okay, there you go. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Our Voices. Yeah, good stuff. And so, and how about the other book that you mentioned? You said you have three.
Oh no, it's the first one that you did you endorsed that first one. Remember how I discovered my purpose.
Oh, that's right. We did say that. That's right. We don't have it in front of us, but yes, how I discovered my purpose. Excellent. So what was your process of writing? What got you started writing? Because this is a writing platform. So there may be people out there that could be inspired by your story.
Well, what got me started with my journey, my writing journey, is just the desire to share my journey, because my story starts with me trying to discover what my God-given purpose was, what my God-given assignment was. So once I started that journey, I felt the need or the calling actually to write that. So that's how it started. It started with purpose, with how to discover your purpose. And while I was writing that book, I was also discovering my own purpose while writing the book. That's why most often I have people come and say, well, I'm trying to write a book, but I don't have, I'm trying to get everything together. I'm trying to have everything to be perfect. I say it's not going to be perfect. You're not going to, if you're waiting to have everything together, you're never going to do it. You have to process. So you have to start with what you have. Make sure it's something you're passionate about, something that you feel called to do. Start from that point and know that it will not be perfect, but as you keep going, that's how you keep striving towards perfection.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And I do thank you for seeking me out to say a few words in the book there in the beginning. It's quite an honor. And you've really done really well. And also, we've got a chance to read together a few times at the State Museum, at the Civic Center, Civic Club, and stuff like that. So you're really on it. Yeah. And so, you know, when it comes down to actually publishing your books, do you seek out different venues, different publishing, or do you just self-publish your own? How do you, what's the process that you go through to select how you will bring your book out? Like how it would be printed, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yes. The first book, I worked with a friend, a couple actually, they own a publishing company. And so someone referred them to me. So we worked on that first book, which was very good because it was a learning experience for me. They actually held my hand and walked me through how to edit the book, what to look for, and you know, and all that stuff. So it was really good. For the second book, I worked with Pastor Kim because I was looking for, since the focus was more spiritual, religious, I was looking for a publisher that understood where I was coming from and that already had that platform, which is important. You know, you want to, depending on the type of book you're writing, you want to pay attention to who's publishing it. So she did a good job, but she introduced the book to her own platforms, were people that could potentially be readers of my book. But yes, but the third book is self-published. The third book, I went again on the referral. There was a fellow author in the Greater Harrisburg area. She's originally from Congo. So she did a children's book, which was a lot of illustrations. And since my book had also a lot of illustrations, I reached out to her and I said, you know, how to publish a book. And that's how she referred me to Nathan. I've never met him physically, but we've just been communicating virtually, and he's been just awesome. Because publishing a book, it takes time. You know, writing the easy part. The editing is where the work gets done. It's where you really sit down, you roll your sleeves. You have to make sure that, you know, the periods are there, the T's are crossed, the I's are dotted. So you really need to work with somebody that is very meticulous, somebody that, you know, is professional. And I have been blessed, especially with this last book, to work with somebody that really was professional, making sure that we got everything set up.
And I appreciate you saying that, because I actually made a mistake myself of not going hard enough in that direction. And once it's published, you know, you're like, oh my goodness, you realize, yeah. So no, it's,
I mean, once it's published, you cannot do anything about it, right?
That's right.
So that's why you,
yes, indeed. That's so important. So anybody that's planning on writing, you know, listen to what she's saying. I mean, get yourself someone that really, first off, understands the direction that you want your book to go in, is willing to work with you, and then take the time to make sure that the I's are dotted, T's are crossed, and all that, because once it's out there, it will be scrutinized. No question about it. So you have an entrepreneurial spirit, so you have your own business. And what business do you have?
So I have a day program. That's what it's called. It's a program that we support adults with intellectual disabilities. We are located in Harrisburg. So we operate Mondays through Fridays. So they are participants, they come to our programs. We teach them skills, socialization skills, communication skills. We take them out to the community to volunteer, to participate in, you know, whatever community events they have. So we just help them live life like every other person that doesn't have a disability.
Very good, very powerful. Yeah, much needed as well for so many families. I need to
Definitely.
introduce you to her name is Shamira Daniels, and she
Okay.
just started an organization called D&D Journey, and she's trying to work with
Okay.
families who have children, smaller children, or anybody really with intellectual disabilities and other issues. And so she's had a couple things recently, such as ice cream socials and different things, just to kind of introduce her business. But she needs somebody like you. She needs to be part of the. Let me make sure I got that right now. What is this? Yeah, emerge her. That's right. She needs to be a part of Emerge her. Yes, indeed. And she's family. She's part of my family. So, I just want to let you know about her. But that's what it's all about. Each one kind of reaching one and teaching one and all that. So these are two different sides of your brain. You had that entrepreneurial thing, building business, and then you have the poetry and the, storytelling. So you're using the whole total package here, right?
Well, Reverend, at the beginning of my journey to purpose, the Holy Spirit gave me a passage, and it's about the talents, the story of the talents, the Bible, where someone buried their talents, and then another person invested their talents and things like that. When I read that passage, I recognized myself as someone who had buried the talents. So that's how my purpose journey started, because I felt ashamed. I felt like I was wasting what God had put inside of me. So I prayed, I said, God, I don't want to bury my talents any longer. Whatever you've given to me, I receive it, and I'm going to use it as you want me to use it. So that's why I do that's why I do what I do, because I'm just using what God has given me to be of service to others.
Wonderful, wonderful. I know you're a very spiritual person and you go to a dynamic church family.
Yes.
You're there with Redeemed Christian Church of God, Living Springs, Redeemed Christian Church of God.
Yes.
How much does that play in your everyday thinking, in your writings, and all that?
Well, it definitely plays a huge part. I mean, I know even before I started writing, I actually had, people from my church that had said, Christine, you're going to be an author, because I was doing like informal write-ups in a little prayer group, in a little home fellowship groups, but I wasn't thinking deep about it. I was just like, well, I just like writing. I'll just summarize what the pastor said today in church. I'll just summarize our prayer points. But the others that were reading it, they were like, no, this is deep. There's something in it. So that's why I encourage everyone to be a part of a group, part of a prayer group, part of a church group, whatever. You don't have to be in my church. You can be like my friend Rose here. She's part of the Catholic Church. Be part of a spiritual group, because that's how we grow. That's how we learn. Sometimes God can be showing you something and you are not catching it, you're not comprehending, and then he can use, when you are in a group, he can use a brother, he can use a sister, come and reveal some things to you that you are not getting on your own. So it's very important to be part of a group.
Fantastic. I agree with you 100%. Yeah. It inspires you, right? Keeps you grounded and all that good stuff. Yeah. So, well, this is such a blessing. I'm so glad that we had a chance to have this conversation. So would you like to read a piece from your book? Is this something that you would like to share tonight?
Oh my God. Okay. Let's see which one I can share. Okay.
Again, we're talking to author and entrepreneur and activist, I'll say, Christine Titih, and she is originally from Cameroon, currently lives here in the Harrisburg area, lives in Camp Hill, Pennsylvania, and she has a business working with persons with intellectual disabilities, and she's a dynamic writer and just a great personality. So glad to have you on tonight. And Emerge Her is the name of the movement. Y'all get involved in that. Okay?
All right. Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to read from our voices, and the title of this is Don't look at the brightness of my light. I need your prayers. I am not perfect. I am not smart. No, definitely not. Please pray for me. Don't look at the brightness of my light. Don't look at the flawless nature of my skin. Please pray for me. I am battling a war I am afraid I will lose. When you pray, pray for me. I am not as strong as I look. I haven't figured out this life yet. I don't have all the answers, and I still have many questions. I am not a perfect Christian, if such even exists. I am not always strong in my faith. Sometimes it wavers, like that of someone who hasn't experienced God. I am faulty like the rest of us. I don't always make the right decisions. I don't always act in integrity and truth. Don't look at my possessions, at the fancy car I drive, or at the mansion I call my home, or the fashionable clothes I wear, or the jewelry on my wrist, or the exquisite food I eat and the fine wine I drink. Don't look at the smile on my face or at the laughter coming from my home. It is masking pain. It is masking past hurts. It is masking doubts and fear about the unknown future. It is masking fragility. It is masking a lost love and a lost life that could have been but wasn't. Don't look at the physical, at the strength of my limbs, at the health of my body. I still need your prayers. No, I am not superwoman, whatever that term means. I am not Mr. Incredible, if he even exists at all. I can't solve all problems. Pray for me as you pray for yourself. Pray for strength to carry on, strength to keep standing when everything else falls. I have none to cry to. I have none to bear this burden with me, but I could do with your prayers. Pray for wisdom to navigate this dungeon of a life. Pray for faith to keep standing, to keep holding, to keep falling. The race is long. It is a marathon, not a sprint, and my faith gets attacked. Pray for endurance to run this race and to win the crown at the end. Prayers would go a long way to ease the hurt, to ease the pain, to ease the disappointment, to erase the effects of loneliness. Don't look at the brightness of my light. When you pray yourself, say a small prayer for me.
Wow. That is really well done. I like that a lot. That how did you come up with that? Where did that come from?
I know, right? That's why the book is deep.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it because I'm trying to sell, but it's deep. I felt, I don't want to say I poured myself, but I felt I was an open, like a vessel. I was just open and just allowed myself to, and allowed the Holy Spirit just to use me and just for the words to come out. When I was editing the book, sometimes I felt like, you should take off this part. It's too deep. Take off this part. It's too personal. Why are you exposing this? And then I was like, nah, I'm not listening to that voice. I'm going to put that book out there. And wherever it touches that the person that God meant for it to be.
Yes. No, because that's powerful. There's a book I like a lot, and it's called Gorillas of Grace, and it's a bunch of prayers that this brother, can't even call the name now, but anyhow, he put it together. It spoke to just about everybody in terms of our struggles, our inner thoughts a little bit. And that's what that poem reminded me of. That piece was, it was, like you said, it was transparent, but it was also very, very powerful, and things. Brother Chris, I see you came on, brother. Tell us what you're thinking.
It has to take a lot to move me to get on the camera, right?
I appreciate it, man.
I'm fighting a battle I'm afraid I might lose. Wow.
Isn't that good?
That was heartfelt. And looking from the outside in, it wouldn't look like something that would have came from your life. You would think by looking at your life that you were born strong, that you were born having it all together, that you were born having it all figured out. And I think that's so therapeutic for others to know that it's okay to be you and not to have it all together. but to know where to get it all together and where to go to get it all together. So thank you for that. That inspired me and moved me. Thank you. Good job.
Yeah, yeah, you don't have to run, brother. That's good. That's good insight. You know what I thought about is I always think about the duck and how it goes across the pond, but underneath you see all that just splashing. You know, I mean, like you said, don't just look at my light. You know, don't just look at me. You know,
Sure,
because there's so much
sure.
going on, so much going on for all of us. And you spoke for all of us. I like that piece a lot. Yeah, so I hope more people heard that. You know, and it will resonate with you. You mind introducing us to? You said your friends is on camera as well. Who's that?
Yes, Tata, I call her Tata Angel. She is the coordinator of the Catholic Diocese, if I'm not mistaken,
Oh,
of Greater Harrisburg area. She
okay,
is originally from Cameroon.
okay.
Tata Angel, yes.
Hello, how are you? I see she's muted right now. Yeah.
No, no, yeah. Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone.
Good
I'm very
evening.
happy. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you well. Yeah,
Good.
yeah, hear you
I'm
very well.
very happy to hear my younger sister presenting her third book. I'm very
Mhm.
supportive with everything that she has done so far. I love her as part of the family. I'm proud of her. I
Uh,
just want her to continue that way. Keep it up, baby girls. You
yes,
are good
indeed.
girls.
Yes,
Keep it
yes.
up. Keep it up. As she told you, uh, I think she's walking on my step. She's trying to be like her big sister.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, she's
Wonderful.
trying to be like her big
That's
sister.
a good thing. That's
Probably.
a good
I have, I'm also an author. I have some book in French, and I
Oh,
haven't started here in United States since I came. I came to do my PhD in history of international relation, and I've been
oh,
doing a lot. By the time passed a lot, and we do a lot now as a part of the Diocese of Harrisburg. I'm the coordinator of the Black Catholic in the diocese, and I work with the bishop. We have a new one, member of diocesan pastoral council, so and very integrated in the society of United States here. So she was right. I'm also an IT DevOps engineer. Beside all that, so right now we have. I'm very happy, very proud of her.
mhm.
We share a lot, and we support each other. When I have an event coming up, I say, "Hey, baby, you gotta be there. I need you." And
All right.
that's the reason I'm here to support her, hundred
All right.
percent.
Fantastic. Well, I'll tell you, I'm so glad you came on and nice to meet you. Now, do
Nice to meet you.
I don't know, I have a good friend. Her name is Betty Curtis. She's a historian. She wouldn't describe
Yes.
herself that way, but she is. And she is
Oh,
a
yeah.
historian by trade. But anyhow, she's in her 90s now, and so she's still very vibrant and spry. And she spoke
Uh,
for us back in February down at the
uh-huh.
State Museum. But she's in the Catholic, church as well, and she's very much into the African Black Catholic movement. So I would love for you two to
Yeah.
meet someday. I know she'd love to meet you and pick your
I'll
brain.
be very happy. I'll be very
Yes,
happy to meet her. We
absolutely.
preparing. In 2 weeks. I'll be going to the convention in Washington with the African American Convention in the United States. So I'm
Oh,
part of that to represent the diocese.
oh,
Yeah.
fantastic. Yes, that's wonderful. You may meet her there. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, probably a lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
How did, how did the two of you meet? You and Christine. How did the two of you meet? Christine, did you want to tell us?
And I let her
Yes.
talk. I let her talk.
Yeah, you can both talk, but just, yeah. You remember how you first met your big
Yes.
sister?
Yes. I do. I mean, I cannot I cannot tell my story of Harrisburg without mentioning Tata Angel, like I call her, and her family. I mean, I have come a long, long way. She knows the story. She knows the struggles when I came to Harrisburg from Pittsburgh, accepted the job. I didn't have a car. I was with my daughter. We were living in a shared accommodation. We were renting a room in a very not safe and not clean accommodation on State Street. I mean, I say the stories as an encouragement, really, to all, and that's how I met Tajel and her family, and they were very supportive, very helpful with just picking and dropping me wherever I needed. She always was very helpful with my daughter. I can't count the number of times she helped me babysit my daughter. So it's important to have people. I always say it's important to have a community, with you, especially when you're going through tough moments, people that have been with you, people that know where you come from. It also keeps you grounded. It keeps you grounded because you are more appreciative of the journey. So she and I have been friends, I would say, families, not even friends, families, say for what, 8 9 years. That's how far we go.
Wonderful, wonderful. Would you like to also speak to that, my sister? Sister Rose?
Yes, and I'm very proud. That's why I want to hear from her how she feel when she saw me. Whenever she want to say something or she needs something, but I really feel very proud of her because you maybe here in the United States you don't have that part because her mom. And she would remember this part. When after I met her, like she mentioned, I was very supportive to her. I know that she's a young girl. She needs help. She doesn't have anybody. And I feel that's the spirit that I have. I always feel like a mother for all my young sister, niece, and all. So I'm the mother of everybody.
Right.
And I recognize that I have something special in me, which is the divine grace that God has put in me to help others. If I look back on my background, I have a very rich and outstanding background that I know that I can help a lot of people. And I would like to share, as long as I grow up every day, I'm like, okay, some people didn't have the same chance that I have. I'm very helpful, and I like to share my experience, which I know that will help them most of the time. For those who are struggling, I went through a lot, but those struggling have made me a wonderful woman. I am proud of that. This is where I learned that I can speak up about myself. When in Cameroon, we don't have that. But when I get in United States, we have to turn our identity and say who we are, and to introduce ourselves to other people. And that's how you guys know me. If that was 10 years ago, I wouldn't be able to tell you who I am. But now I can speak up about myself and say, hey, I know who I am. And you have the best version of myself. So the story with her mom is the one who gave her to me. And we have, so I have that connection, that permission from her mom when back in 2012, when her
14.
mom was here, 14, for the first time.
14.
She came over, and she's like, my young girls, I think you have more that you can share with her. Help her. She needs help. So I look at her mom and I was like, wow, she doesn't know me. How can she give me her daughter? So I feel really considered, and I'm like, okay, since I'm the oldest of 11, now I have another one to take care. God always put me where there is need. So this one need me, and he gonna lead me and guide me to tell her what she need to hear, and that will make her growing. That's why I'm very proud of her.
Fantastic. Now I heard you say that you were working on your PhD. Is that right? Your doctorate?
That's right. I'm about to start now with that, because that's the reason I came in the United States.
Okay.
It took me time. Yeah, it took me time to work on my administration part, get all the citizen, all the paper, all that. And financially, I need help with that. So I think this is the right time. It's calm now. I can put myself and then continue.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so glad the two of you found each other, and you are showing the kind of love and the kind of support that, you know, sisters need to show. And we hope that, you know, you continue to, you know, let your light so shine. I'm gonna keep looking at your light, Christine. I know what your poem said, but I'm gonna keep looking at your light now. Because it shines bright. And it's doing well.
Yeah.
Now, Christine, tell us about language. Have you thought about also translating your books into languages so that, you know, persons back home or other parts of the continent can read it who may not be as, you know, fluent in English or something like that? Have you ever thought about translating, both of you? I know you said yours book is in French. And how about you, Christine?
Well, I haven't started looking deep into it, but I did have some French-speaking Cameroonians in the Greater Harrisburg area that had expressed the desire or the interest of that I should translate it at least to French, which I think makes sense, especially with this third book, to have it translated in French. It does have some French words, because you know, the cover aspect, the origin aspect, it does have some French words, but I will definitely consider sometime in the nearest future to have it at least translated in French.
How many languages are spoken in Cameroon? Do you mind me asking? How many languages?
Titih, you should answer. I would like 200 languages, but like 200 dialects.
More than 200, but 2 are official. But since I just came from Cameroon 2 months ago, I went to I talked with some of the people that are leading, the minister, those that I know from the high education. They are they are setting now the national, what they call the national languages, like in each region, we have 10 regions. So in each region, they will pick one language, and they're teaching that language to the foreigner that are coming. So they have, this is new. It's new. Since when I was over there, they didn't have that setting. And I really appreciate it. And over 10 years, I've been here over 12 now. The country has changed a lot in terms of education, what they're teaching. Like when I say I'm the author, the first book was in civic education part, because I was teaching. I was the history, geography, civic education teacher in high school back in Cameroon. So we were working a lot with the system administrator in education, higher education. So I know for sure how which book were allowed to be promoted, and which one the education system will use this year on each academic years. But right now, I'm telling you, it's amazing. And I was like, why people say nothing is done in Cameroon? There are so many change and great change. So thinking to translate the book in French would be the good idea. I would support that in French. If there is somebody who is interested to do so, let him do. It would help also.
Excellent. And
Yeah.
I do know there is a French-speaking church in Living Springs, or housed in the same building. I don't know if you have a relationship with them at all, Christine.
Where?
In the at Living Springs, there's a church upstairs that's French-speaking.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. Yeah, do you ever talk with them at all? I don't know if you have any relationship with them.
Yes, I used to. Well, I used to go and support the French ministry up there. So yes, I know almost everyone that goes.
Okay.
I just wanted to talk a little bit about this languaging that Tatanja mentioned. When I was in Kigali, English is like the official language. I this French, but you don't hear a lot of French. But most often, the people there, they speak their dialect that the president has now made into an official language. And
Okay.
it was very amazing to really experience that firsthand. Yes, for those visiting the country, it's a little bit strange to have everybody speak, that dialect, but I really find it, for us that from African origin, I really find the promotion of our language to be very important. So I really commended it, even though I wasn't understanding a lot what they were saying. But I said, yeah, we shouldn't. It's colonialization that made us adopt this, official languages, right? But from the get-go, that was our quote-unquote official languages. So it was very amazing to see us going back to promoting those local languages. So, and if Cameroon can do that, that will really be awesome.
Fantastic. Yeah. Let's make it happen. This is exciting, fascinating. I don't know if we've had this conversation on this particular platform before, but it's it's well overdue. And I'm so glad to meet both of you in terms. I've already met Christine, and now to meet my sister Rose here. And yes, indeed. I work with a sister by the name Rose, and she is a PhD and everything. She's a chaplain, but she's from Nigeria. And you remind me so much of her, your voice inflection and everything. You two need to be like sisters that know it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, yeah. So
yeah, definitely.
Now you said you have a book as well. What's the name of your book?
The one is in French.
Right.
The one that I have, and I mentioned that it was for the student in the high school student, civic education. Éducation à la citoyenneté. I think I have one copy here. I think I have Éducation à la citoyenneté. Yeah, it's about the civic education in Cameroon. Because
That's okay. So, Christine, your books have been selling. I'm sure you've taken them all over, promoted them well and everything. What has worked best for you in terms of selling your books or getting your books distributed? Who's buying them mostly and who's been mostly interested, that kind of thing, and how can we broaden that for you?
Well, obviously, that's why I always, as I mentioned all through, about the importance of having a community, being part of the community and having a community with you. The community has really been very awesome in helping buy all my books, to say the truth. Each time I've had people that have bought in the greater Harrisburg region, that have bought for themselves, that have bought for others, and that have really pushed the book into the hands of others. So that type of marketing, sales, it's good, but of course it's not sustainable. But it's let's be, I'll be realistic. We write because we're passionate about it. Some line the writer also hopefully survive from those books. So what I'm trying to do with this third book is really more of a more of a broader approach. The first two books, I kept them a little bit too local. I was just doing the promotion locally in Greater Harrisburg area and things like that. But with this third book, I've taken it beyond the walls of Greater Harrisburg and Central PA. So I've been going to some events like in the Maryland area. I went to Lancaster in June to promote. I'm going to Pittsburgh. There's an African festival in Pittsburgh too to promote. So yes, I've been trying to really, and I've been telling my contacts all over the states basically that, hey, if there's a African cultural event, let me know. There's a big one coming in August, end of August, St. Louis. So me and the lady who did the cover of the book, we try and see how we can get paid to also go and promote it at that level. So that's what I'm working at right now, really trying to get the word out there to as many, through many outlets as possible, not keep it only in a central PA region.
Yeah. So there are two people I want to mention for both of you, and that is one is she comes on our program a lot, and boy, I tell you, I'm getting old, drawing the blanket all of a sudden. But anyhow, it hit me in a minute. Brother Chris can help me out with that. Queenie Clem. Queenie Clem does a fantastic job of setting up platforms to promote African and African-American authors. And she has a nationwide kind of, and very inexpensive. She will promote your book online and does everything. And then she interviews you, just like I'm interviewing you now. But she does have a very good nationwide platform. The other person is Curry. It'll hit me in a minute, but her last name is Curry, and our daughter, Terry Martinez, she works with her quite a bit, and she does a fantastic job promoting you nationwide as well. And it'll hit me in a minute here what her name is, but I can give you, I'll make sure I get that information to both of you,
Yes.
you want to, yeah. So this was something else. Oh, we have a magazine, by the way. Let me do a quick little plug here. Our latest venture is to have a Writer's Wordshop magazine. And so it will be coming out this weekend. And I don't know if Brother Chris has any promotional stuff. We have some things on my Facebook page, on the page for Nicole Wilkerson and others. But the magazine itself is a platform. You can see there it is. We're going to bring it out every single month. We will have, it's really, the first issue looks really nice. I'm really proud of it. We have a wonderful person, Sarita Henderson, who is putting it all together for us. And then the marketing and the ads and all that stuff is being done by Nicole Wilkerson, who's keeping it all together. And of course, I put my 2 cents in, but we're looking for authors, for writers. And if you want to promote or, advertise very inexpensively, we advertise and we're distributing it everywhere. So that's just something to keep in mind. It's called the Online Writers Workshop Magazine. And, it's digital, and we're going to have some real fun with this. It looks really good. So just to let you know. And hopefully maybe for July, actually July is here, but for August, if you're interested, we'll certainly get you an ad in there, promote your works. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Also, we have another number of events. One of the things we do is we're going to hopefully start doing it monthly at the Elizabethtown College. We have what's called a Writers Retreat. And they have a wonderful writers house there called the Bowers Writers House. We were there this last month, and we had a wonderful experience with Shantae. Oh my goodness, I need to have stuff in front of me these days. But anyhow, Sister Shantae is both. She's a PhD plus a lawyer. She has a law degree as well, and she's a professor at Penn State Harrisburg. And
I know her. I think I know her. Yeah. I can't think of her last name, but I have done a couple of events with her. Yeah, I know her, Dr.
Shantae James.
James. Yes.
Yeah. Forgive us, Shantae. But anyhow, she is also opening her doors at Penn State for us to come down there in November. We're going to have a writers retreat at Penn State. I think it's November the 4th or something like that, but it's one of the days. I'll let you know more. But so we're making some inroads and having these various writers retreats. We can meet one another. We have people coming from all over, and it gives us a chance to, talk about our books, share our works, and then how to best distribute, best practices in the field and all that kind of stuff. So we had these different opportunities. And the gentleman who actually runs the Bowers Writers House, he also runs the largest poetry, one of the largest poetry venues on the East Coast, and that's at Westchester University, which is right outside of Philadelphia. with my alma mater, where I graduated from. And he has a fantastic offering there. And so we're going to, work with him to maybe even make inroads to that Westchester, poetry conference once a year. Have you heard of the Harlem Book Fair? I don't know if they're still doing it, but the Harlem Book Fair, are you familiar with that at all? Okay, so
No.
Yes,
yeah,
I heard about that when I have years ago back. I think back in 2019, I went to the convention with the NAFSA, all the international educator program, and I met some of great people over there. They working. So that's how I heard about that. But because of the COVID now, things have split up, and it's kind of, and because I have mentioned to one of them that since I get here, I'm very passionate about, I need someone to help me to put my story. I don't want to leave this world without that story in a book, because I know it's gonna help a lot of people, and that's how.
All right. Well, I have a person who I know would be, she's really good at it, and her name is Terry Martinez. And so one of these days I'll hook you up with her. She has her own publishing company, but she also helps people put together their stories. And she is, in fact, getting ready to do some traveling, because she co-authored a book with a lady who came to her and said exactly that. And so she had quite a story to tell. And now she's working with another company who's doing the same thing. So I'll put you at least in touch with her, and she can put you in touch with some other folks as well. So yeah, good stuff.
Okay, I will be very happy.
Brother Chris, I know you always jump on things real quickly, man. Can you see if the Harlem Book Fair is coming up this year, or if it's past, or anything? I thought I saw something where, okay. Oh, yes, okay. It's coming up in September. Listen, thank you. This is fantastic. This is really, really, really a good place to go. And it's September the 23rd. It's a Saturday from 10 to 6. It is really, because it's New York, it's Harlem. People come from all over the world, and they generally have all of the top publishers and everybody there. And you can get yourself a table and be an author there and sell your books. And you will, have the opportunity to meet a lot of people. I highly recommend it. For anybody who's never been to it, I hope that you'll consider going to the Harlem Book Fair. We used to go every single year, and I don't know if this is the first time they've been back in a year or two, but I plan on going this year. It's in September. Yay. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate that. Yeah,
thank
look that
you.
up. Yes, look that up. And then they also have a lot of good lectures, and some of the top writers in the country from all over the world really are there. So check that out. The other conference I'll mention to you is called the Sheikh Anta Diop Conference. I believe Sheikh Anta Diop was one of the great educators, leaders out of, was it Senegal? I think
in Senegal, yeah.
Yes. And so this is a conference that's held by Dr. Malife Asante, and it used to take place, I think, something like in October, whatever. But highly recommend that as well. They have it in Philadelphia. He has the Malife Asante Institute, and he was the distinguished professor at Temple University. They call him the father of Afrocentrism. I think he's the author of something like 129 books, but a marvelous scholar. And the Sheikh Anta Diop Conference is someplace both of you, would probably really benefit from attending, and, maybe having books there and everything. Yeah. So, by the way, let me mention this, and this is my last little announcement. And that is in October. In October, the third Sunday, I believe in October, we have a couple of things going on, but especially the third Sunday in October, we do what's called the International Storytelling Festival. And we literally bring poets and storytellers from all different backgrounds and everything. We also do something later on that is the African Storytelling Festival. And so we can tell you more about that as well. There's a huge conference that takes place, all over the country, really, but in Philadelphia, they have a group called Keepers of the Culture, which is a fantastic storytelling group. And we usually bring in a lady from that group by the name of, oh my goodness, she's a stilt walker. Chris, did you see her before, Christine? Okay.
No.
Yeah, she's been there so many times.
No, I don't think so.
Chris, help me out, man. I know Chris is listening in. She's good. Oh my goodness. Oof. But she's a storyteller. She's an international storyteller. And she is out of Philadelphia. But She literally is I mean, she's 10 feet up in the sky, and she's a fashion model on stilts. You
Wow.
have to see her to believe it. Yeah. And by the way,
Wow.
I know I'm not giving away any secrets here. She's 60 years old, or she's just turning 60. And she's still doing it, still going
Wow.
strong. Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
We had it for
Wow.
Kwanzaa, and we had it for Kwanzaa and some other things. But anyhow, so all that's coming up. And so I want to invite both of you to come out and be a part of those events.
Yes,
Christine, I know
I
you're
will
going
be very happy. Yep.
Yeah, we'd love
I
to
will-
have you. Yes.
Yep, I will be very happy to be
I would love
part
both
of
of
it.
you storytellers as well. Come in and tell us a bit of your own story, and that could be from your book or it could be from your life, whatever you like to do. Yeah. So I'll keep you posted, okay? There's
Yeah,
so there you go. That's her right there.
Oh,
Mafalda
there
Thomas.
she is.
Yeah.
Okay.
there she is.
Mafalda Thomas. Yeah, and that's when she's on stilts right now and she's doing the fashion show. And she's internationally known for this. Yeah, she's on stilts. Yes, indeed. And when you see her in person, I mean, she's way up there, but she's really good. So anyhow, hopefully you'll meet her as well. And then in December, we always have our Kwanzaa festival, and that's our largest festival. Yeah, just, so we have that. And hopefully you'll come out for that as well. So this is really good. Christine, well, both of you, can you do it? Christine, I asked you to do another reading first, if you would like to. I don't know if you'd like to or not. And it can be from either one of your books. It can be from your latest or from your devotional. And then also, Sister Rose, if you have something you'd like to share, I'd appreciate that as well.
Okay, let's see. I will read a titled He would love to speak, to say words, to express himself, to be understood, but the words can't come out. Mom, I love you. Brother, I love you. Why I say the word? I am choked up because my love doesn't have an outlet. What are you doing to me? I am in pain. I am hurting. You're hurting. I don't like it. Can't you hear me? Can why can't I say, Mom, I love you. Brother, I love you. Why can't I say the words? I discovered something new today. The sun was shining brighter than before. I had a good day. I saw something that made me laugh. But wait, why can't I laugh? Why anyone laughing? My words can't come out. Mom, I love you. Brother, I love you. Why can't I say the words? So I lash out. I frustrate. I hurt myself. I hit others. Oh no, I broke Mom's favorite blue vase. Now she's sad. But Mom, I love you. Brother, I love you. Why can't I say the words? Why can't I say I am sorry?
Yeah. Isn't that the truth? You have such a hard time. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Very good. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah. Sister Rose, did you have anything you'd like to share?
My brother, I have the only thing I want to express the gratitude and the happiness that I spend this time with you, and this is the first time in our life we put so much consideration for the first time you connect with someone. And to be honest with you, I really appreciate you. I appreciate everything you share and the way you lead the conversation or the presentation, and you support Christina. And then I would like, with all the information that you share with us, you might from now on count on me and include me in any event that is coming up. Being a leader in the diocese level, it takes courage, it takes people that support you, and it also takes some effort from you guys I will be very happy to meet more than your other group that you have, even they're not Catholic, you know, because life today is about connection.
That's right.
Who are you connect to, and who are you? I have to share, you have to share, and that's how we grow up. And this is the life that we have today. We all have to share what we have so that we will grow out, the whole world we will make our impact, and we are responsible for the next generation. We need to give them what is good. Amen. And not hiding what we have. That's the reason since I get here, I was like, okay, yeah, over here, things are different. I think one day I will have the chance to share my story from the day I was born, everything that happened. And now that I can tell people how God has leading my life until United States, this is a dream for me until it happened through the book.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah. Well, I feel the same way. The connection is obvious, and this is a blessing. I mean, I expected Christina to come on. Christine came on bearing gifts. You shared this with us. This is wonderful. This is absolutely wonderful. And you know, there's some people we just really sort of met. We went to South Africa back in November, and we had a chance to travel all throughout, and it was great. And just like 32 or 33 of us, and made a real bond and connection with some people. And so I said, well, what is this? You know, and so they have a foundation, lady from educator from Washington, D.C. Was so moved around the Nelson Mandela's being released. She decided she had to go to South Africa. And so she did. And when she decided to go, she told her church members, yeah, I'm going to go. So a lot of them said, we want to go too. So they all jumped up and went with her. And then it became a thing. And so she went every year until her death. And we spread her ashes, in fact, in Durban, I think it was, and a beautiful sunset and the whole bit, and sunrise, actually. And so it was quite moving. So anyhow, Pat and I have just gotten to be selected to their board, and they're based out of Washington, D.C. And I think we have some work to do, and we're going to include y'all in that. There's something telling me this is a spiritual thing here, you know, because there's some great folks. And they're planning another trip, in fact, next year, into the early part of 2024 to go again and everything. So, but they're looking to connect with people here on the continent and this and that, and you know. So yeah, this is great. And then you have so many connections I would love to be a part of. I need to know more about what you're doing, and you know, and all of that. So fantastic, good. And I do hope that we can get more of our people who are, you know, the displaced Africans. Those of us who are African Americans, to be more connected to our brothers and sisters from the continent as you come, and then we make those connections and work together. It's just, you know, the cry is there. We need to do more together, you know? No question about it. Yeah. So this has been a joy. I thank you so much, both of you, for coming on tonight and sharing your words and your wisdom. And, you know, we have events that are coming up, so let's let this to be the beginning of our conversation, not the end.
Yes,
right?
Not the end.
That's
Yes.
Right. Just keep connecting one another to each other and see what we can come up with. We do have, we are blessed to have had a wonderful working relationship with the State Museum of Pennsylvania. So we do have 4 programs coming up this year. We've already done 3. And so the other 3 will be, oh boy, when I think about that, let me think now. I know in October we have an event. That's the Storytelling Festival. And then we have a holiday event in December. But there's one more thing coming up. But anyhow, those 2 at least I know are coming up. And I'll tell you more about that. We just had a wonderful Juneteenth celebration. And we were able to bring in, I want to thank the Winneman African dance community and also the drumming corps. They brought in some 20-something djembes. And then had a class for anybody who wanted to come up and play the djembe. We had up and show them. Yeah,
I know the djembe.
You know the djembe? Okay.
Yeah, I do. I know the djembe from. Yeah, I know this. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. All right. And that's
I've
those
seen
are the
this.
drummers. Yeah, the lady on the right actually, she is the one who created that whole. It's called I think it's Solomon Studios. That's Lee Wachowski. And she's the one who started that. These brothers are actually from, they were from Maryland, I believe, from Baltimore. Yeah. And then this is some of the people that were doing the fashion show. Yeah. There you go.
Oh,
Yeah. So we just had a good time, you know, and these are the kind of programs we put on the State Museum. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate that. Yeah. So, you know, yeah. So we're wide open for ideas and everything, you know. Absolutely.
Okay.
Good. Well, listen, I'm going to let you both go. Thank you so much. I hope I didn't keep you too long, but this was wonderful. No. Any last words, anything else you'd like to, you know, share with our audience? Anything that's coming up or anything you'd like to tell them? Christine, I'll give you the honors.
Oh, yeah.
How can you get your book? Sell your book again. Sell your book.
So much, you know, no. You know, when I left Kigali, I went to Athens in Greece, and I did a Bomo there, and the Cameroonian community or the African community there, they were sort of, some of them didn't show up because they were thinking they had to come and buy a book, and they were thinking I was coming to sell a book. So when I spoke, when I did a little speech, I said I don't sell books. You know, I'm passing a message. That's the difference. So that's why I'm not. Yes, no, I don't sell books. I pass a message or I sell a message. So I'll end with that. I will not end with go buy my book. No, I will not say that. I will end with discover your purpose. I
like it. Yeah.
Discover your purpose. Do God has asked you to do. Don't be scared. Don't be afraid. Move on to the path that God has traced already for you. And if you need help, reach out to me. My contacts on Facebook is everywhere. I'll be willing to help you on that journey. Thank you, Reverend. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
In fact, I have two things I want to show you. Let me show you something there real quick. Oh, I got to grab this. Because I'm going to make sure that both of you get a copy of these. And this is my little latest venture, and I have it in hardback. And I'll make sure you both get a hardback copy. Okay. And that's my little what's the name? And it's called the Stories of African American Struggles, Achievements That Feed the Soul. And so I was writing for a little newspaper here, and I did an article, and so I just included a lot of those articles inside this publication. And then we have an anthology, and we're going to do another anthology. And I like both of you. Hopefully, this is one of the copies that, you know, they do a promotional copy. It's called Our Words, Our Voices. And yours is called Our Voices. I like it, Christine. Yeah. But this is an anthology of our poetry. So I'd love to be able to include you both in this, you know, next time we do one. Okay. But I'll make sure you both get a copy of both of these. Okay. All right. Yes, indeed. But thank you. And I just want to tell everybody again, we've been talking to Rose Titih, and she is an outstanding author as well as entrepreneur right here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, y'all. And she has a worldwide perspective, and she's doing great work. And she introduced us tonight to one of her mentors, and that is Sister Rose. And say your full name, Sister Rose.
My full name will be Rose Angel Mbasi. Now,
so the M is silent.
States, yes, Rose Angel Mbasi. But everybody goes with Angela. Which is very everybody goes with Angela.
Good.
Which is very easier to go. Yeah, it's very easier to go with.
That's why I call her Tata. I call her Tata. So Tata means auntie or big sister.
Auntie or big sister. And it's a way to show respect. Respect. That's how we grew up in that culture. When somebody is bigger than you, or you call her not by the name. Don't go with Angela. It's disrespectful.
No.
But you go with Tata. You show respect. So some of us, we want to keep our culture here, which is really good. Yeah, we don't want to mix, but if I'm with you, you want me to call you Nathan, I will go with Nathan. But I feel something like I'm missing something, because if
Yes.
that was in Cameroon, I would have called you dad.
Never. Yeah.
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 You see what I mean?
Papa,
Or
you know,
Papa Nathan, or father. So over here, I'm keeping that. I have some white folks here. They almost at the age of my parent. Since they say that they have adopted me, and I told them, my mom is 72 years old. You look like my mom, so accept me to call you mom. So they have to deal with it. And I told her, everywhere I have an event, they have to be there. They would tell people, she is our daughter. We have adopted her, because I told them, I cannot call you by your name. No, I cannot call you because of the consideration. We are family.
Yeah.
So why would I call my dad?
Yeah. I noticed that my pharmacists, they're both husband and wife team. You know, Christine, Dr. Andrew and Nana. And Nana is what we call her all the time, right? Yeah, and that's respect, understanding in her culture. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brother Andrew, I always just call him Dr. Andrew myself, you know. But I guess they say Dada, is that what they would call him if he was in he's from Uganda. So I'm not sure.
He's from Uganda.
He's from Uganda.
Yeah, Uganda. Yes.
Yeah, probably something different, but yeah, but fascinating though. More of our children, more of our adults, not just our children, more of our people need to be exposed to the traditions. And we don't always know the traditions. And so, yeah, we need to do that. Sit down. And that's one of the things hopefully we can bring to the Kwanzaa. That was the idea, and that's the reason why Brother Karinga created Kwanzaa, that we would have a connection and learn more about our traditions and the way we do things. And I think we've gotten away from some of that a little bit. We need to rekindle that. So this is good.
And good. And that is one of my goals now. Everywhere in the diocese, when I get there, I saw the way they display stuff, everything, and I'm like, okay, you know what we're missing here? When I first get into the ministry, it was called Black Catholic Community. And I'm like, okay, if you call it Black Catholic, why don't we call White Catholic? And I was, and they will go like, okay, what do you mean? I say, I don't want to be defined just by my color. I want to be defined by my culture. That's what I want you to integrate me, to accept me with my culture. That is a way that I worship God with my culture. So now they changed the name of the ministry. When I have an event, when we just had the installation of the new bishop, they will put multicultural ministry.
Okay.
And you will see my name there, Angela Mbasi, representing. You know that. So and this is the little thing that people pay attention, but the other side, they don't care. And I say, if you don't care, that means you disrespect me.
That's right.
You need to care. And when if you look at the website of the diocese, there are many cultures, many people here, different background. And the good part is, when the whole diocese, the office over there, there are different people are coming from all over the world. I met a lady from Poland, from France, the other from France, from Belgium, working in the diocese. And when I get there, the first diocesan council that we had, you want to laugh? I was the only Black, and I was like, huh? Where are they? So at the same time, when I'm talking to my fellow over here, I say, we are not these things. The Catholic Church belong to everybody. Now, if this is a game, if you play the empty seat, the other people will take over. You gotta be there to be considered. If you are not there by your presence, you will find a place. But if you stay home, nobody would. They will find somebody else to put there.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
And that's where the game became difficult. Even you start screaming, yelling, no, it's not gonna work because you don't understand what's going on. You are there and you affirm yourself by your presence. And there you find a way to worship your God, and they will be absolutely, they will put you somewhere.
Amen.
You will ask me, that's the reason I want to tell my story and put it in the book, is because when I get there, everybody was like, how do you get there? How do you get there? Say, okay, there is no magic, no miracle that I've done. This is God calling me, hey, I need you over there. The ministry is falling apart. You got to be there. And I was concerned about my breaking English, broken English. And I was, and the bishop said, Angela, I don't have any problem with your English. I understand you. But what I need from you is this heart that you have to share and to tell others to come to church. That's all. And everybody that know you, everybody that knows you, they speak up about it. They speak very high about you. This is what I call you to say. And I was like, really? So if I didn't go to church every morning, every day, no one would know me.
Right.
And if they didn't put me where they put me, they wouldn't know, they wouldn't know what I'm able to do. And I'm telling you, when it comes to an event and Angela is there, is more than 500 people. That can. First event I had, it was more than 400 at the cathedral. Wow. And myself, when I came home, I'm like, Mama, now I know what God has called me for, is to guide these people. They need me. That's it.
Yeah.
I think you have the whole the later part of the story.
That's you remind me so much. There was a Catholic, I guess they call her a nun, and she was from Africa, and she goes into DC into this all-white congregation, and she challenged them on the way that they worship. I mean, she got them with the spirit. She was singing this and that, and she made such she touched so many lives there. And like you said, she showed up every day. She was there, and every day she spoke up, and every day, you know, she asked for respect and everything. And then she got cancer, and unfortunately she died. But she was young. She was a relatively young person, and she continued her work up to the day. So she never changed. Her spirit was always high. She was always demanding respect. She was always singing whatever. And they had her on 60 Minutes, the TV program that comes on, and they highlight, you know, various people. And that story just took off, and people were just talking about that story for years, really. About I forget her name now. I just want to say Sister Mary, whatever. But she was quite a presence. But it's funny because they expected something different. What did they expect out of her? And she said, no, I'm just bringing my culture, you know. And
that's true.
The culture became infected. I got to ask you, Christine, real quick. Now, you were part of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, and you know, how did you find? And that church is very integrated in a sense. I mean, most people are from Africa, but they come from all over Africa. Is that right?
Yes, they do. They do. I think I've stopped keeping, but we probably have more than 20 different countries represented there. So it's a multicultural church.
Yeah, I know you do the Parade of Nations during I think it's Women's History Month or something like that.
Yes, and the podium where the flag bearers stand, it's getting small because we have so many countries represented that we just cannot even take all of the countries that we have. And like Angela was saying, it's very important, for the individual, for the person to be able to worship in a congregation or in a church that lets them express their full cultural way of worshiping. It's different. And like I would say that this beauty diversity doesn't mean that our cultures are perfect. There's no culture that's perfect,
That's right.
but I always say there's a good, the bad, the ugly. So you have to take the good and see how we can integrate, with the good of the other culture. So it's really amazing what the work she's done with the the Catholic diocese here in Greater Harrisburg area, and it's really an encouragement to other churches around the area to integrate different cultural ways of worshiping and serving God. I believe there's no one right way of of
That's
serving
right.
God, the same God that created someone from France, someone from the originally US and African Americans, the same God that created someone from Cameroon. So he delights in all the very ways that he has created us to do so. So
Amen. Amen. We've been joined by Dr. Dan Snowden. Dr. Snowden's been with the Writers Workshop for years. He's an outstanding writer. Dr. Snowden, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks. How about yourself?
I'm doing great, thank you. You see, we have two very special guests on, Sister Christine Titih, and am I saying it right? Is it Titih?
Yeah.
Okay, and then Sister.
Yes.
Say it again.
Angel Bassi.
Yes, and Sister Bassi, yes. And so, yeah, so anyhow, we've been having a wonderful conversation concerning Christine's books, and also Sister Bassi is also a writer, and her book has been not translated yet, but it's in French, and she may have it translated. And we're going to see about that, okay? But anyhow, Brother Snowden here is a very fine poet, and he is also a scientist, and so a lot of his writings. And before we go off, I don't know. Let me see what time it is here. We've been on for a while, and man, I tell you, it's a great conversation.
It's only 1.5 years. Hours.
This is good. This is very good. So I don't know if I'm gonna ask Dr. Dan if he doesn't mind reading something, and then if you two again would like to just talk about whatever or read, we stay on to 9 o'clock. And so I don't know if you have more time, if you want to stay with me, that'd be fantastic. But I'm sure we have more to talk about. So anyhow, the other thing we do on this show is we show videos, and I'm going to ask Brother Chris if you can pull up a video. We usually have a poet of some sort, talking about different subjects. A lot of them are, and Brother Chris is a pastor as well. And so a lot of them are people who are, the Christian faith, and they do their poetry around that. So I don't know if you have anything like that lined up, Brother Chris, but I'm going to ask Dan Snowden first, even though he doesn't come on the screen, but we hear him. And then we'll have a video, and then we'll come back to our very special guest tonight. So Dan, if you could do your first poem.
Oh, sure. I'll read this. This is something I'm actually going to do tomorrow, so because I'll be going up to Wildwood. So this is the collectible show of Wildwood, New Jersey. On selected dates in 2 summer months, early July and late August each year, a show takes place in Wildwood, New Jersey, with collectibles that many hold dear. The event offers items about sports, such as cards, plaques, equipment, and clothing, football, basketball, baseball, and hockey. Even wrestling appears without loathing. There are other wares available here, ranging from among toys, coins, and comics. Even posters are found at this affair, covering a wide range of topics. I bought some movie posters at this show. The subjects were the giant monster type, thereby feeding a long-standing passion, newer method, but still the same sharp hype. Hence, the collectible show at Wildwood is one such happy place where I attend. For any Wildwood summer visitors, this show is what I'd highly recommend.
All right. Dr. Dan. Dan has a bunch of stuff that speaks of his life and also the different things he does, and great rhyming schemes. Thank you for sharing that. Appreciate that.
Oh, certainly.
Okay. And we'll come back to you, but at this time, I'm going to ask Brother Chris if you don't mind pulling up a video that we can all kind of watch. Here we go.
motherland began to spit us out, one by one, unable or refusing to feed us any longer. The greedy ones had sucked her half dry by now. I believe she began to hold back in protest to the abuse she faced endlessly from her very own. No place to call home anymore, we stumble upon each other in long queues at border control. The smell of desperation thick in the air. Foreigners in the land of past oppressors, we try to stand firm. We build new homes from sticks and stones. Not everything could be brought along. Not everyone could be brought along. Fees of fees and lack of opportunities meant that half our families remained behind. Memories of back home, tightly and neatly packed into our hand luggage, careful not to carry too much baggage, in fear of being weighed down by dreams of what could have been. We go on still, bags in hand, fear in eyes, hope in soul. We march on to press on towards what seems like a higher mark, towards what looks like greener pastures, to a land where the mother might chew us up, to a land where the mother might grind us between her teeth, to a land where anything might happen, but never to a land where mother begins to spit us out one by one. So we gather our papers and our prayers, and we march on to worlds unknown.
Beautiful. Yeah. Young lady too. Beautiful. Yes.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah.
Motherland. Wow. I like her imagery
Wow.
and all that she did. Yeah, that's great. So, and can we keep the readings going? I don't know if you have anything else you'd like to read for us tonight. In fact, I'll find something as well I can maybe share. Christine, did you have anything? Feel free. Or Sister Bassie, do you have anything you'd like to share? It doesn't have to be reading, just be something that you'd like to just share and talk about. And for those persons just tuning in, you're on Facebook Live. We come on every Friday night from 7 until 9, right here on The Voice, 17104 Harrisburg. This is The Voice of Harrisburg, and we appreciate Brother Pastor Chris Thomas and his lovely wife, Melissa. They do a fantastic job of, they have their own show, by the way, every day, I think at 3 o'clock here on the station, but also they are a platform for those of us who were in search of voice, and they made this platform possible. So we will always be in debt to, the work that they do and for giving us space. And, I've always tried to honor the space as much as I possibly can. And don't forget, we have another platform that's been developed for you. It's called the Writers Wordshop magazine. It is a free digital magazine that comes out monthly. And the first issue will be out this month, which is, in July. And we hope that you will support it by reading it, first off, liking it, and then sharing it with others. But also, if you like to, advertise, we always would appreciate that. Or submit an article or a poem. We'd appreciate that as well. It's called the Writers Wordshop magazine. Okay, we'll tell you more about that later. At this time, I'm going to ask Sister Christine Titih to give us another reading, if she doesn't mind.
Okay. God inspired by the mother say this one called Soon, and the setting is the motherland, obviously. Okay, soon we feel no the of the next one will be of drumming, like a family music to our ears, replacing the music of the village festival. So the sight of blood will be like the rain of the dry season, normal. That's when we would know that what we lost was far greater than what we gained. When we will retell the stories of years before of a happy village life, with children running around freely and without fear, where the young girls met at the marketplace to gist and gossip with their friends and laugh over the silliness of the boys, where boys were boys, silly, free, and unbothered, where mothers carried their farm produce and sold them freely on the market square, where fathers proudly displayed their hunting trophies. Then our grandchildren will ask us if it was a fairy tale, because all they would have known is blood, gunshots, cries, and pain, dismembered body parts flying around like red-colored kids. Soon we'll be numb. Soon everything will be normal, and the recollection of the past will no longer be a vivid memory. Soon the sight of blood and the sounds of gunshots would have erased the memories of life before it all changed. Who is who got shot again? Who is more again? We question not because it matters, but because it has become part of our conversation. We will update social media status until the next gunshot, the next round of machetes. Then a new bloody story will replace the former. Its cruelness will erase the memory of the former. Just like that, with no transition, no remediation, no healing, no lessons learned, no justice, no peace. Et la vie continue. We have stopped keeping count of the number and the names. They don't matter. Not because we created to be numb to others' pain, but because we have to numb our pain to survive. Soon it will be another turn. Soon it will be another family. It won't matter again. Age will not matter. Nobody is involved. Nobody is safe in a war. We are now immune to the shouts in the homes. We are immune to the hurt and the pain. We will carry your hurt for a little while. Life moves on because it always does. Because in a war, there's no time to tarry at the burial site. What words can we say to those mourning, apart from welcome to the club, apart from we understand your pain, but we have no words of comfort. Bear your own burden as we bore our own. This is the path we are all treading on. Nobody is safe. Nobody is spared. The bullet knows no friend. La balle n'a pas de nom de famille. The machete is thirsty for blood. Any blood will do because the thirst must be quenched. Soon your story will be history, as if history was anxiously waiting to repeat itself. It shall come past if it's not here already.
So is that from your latest book, Our Voices?
Yes, from my latest book, Our Voices, and it's taken from, I come from the English part of Cameroon, and for, I'll say, since 2017, there's been, some sort of a war going on with civil unrest and, people being killed left, right, center, village life being disrupted. People can't go back to their villages because of all what is going on. And it's very sad because that's always the story of Africa, so to say. So in those words, I really just try to capture the feeling of can I say, just the feeling that of sadness, really, of seeing lives being shattered, the village life as we knew it growing up not being the same again, and hopefully that we can learn lessons and that it won't repeat itself again. When I went to Kigali, Rwanda, I went to their memorial, the memorial site they had, because I don't know if our viewers are aware, but there was a genocide there, 29 years ago. And that memorial site is very heartbreaking. It's very I mean, it's an emotional turmoil to see what the people of that nation went through 90s. I mean, and it comes to a point where we say we have to learn from the past, and I don't know why we never learn as a people, as a Black people, as African people, we never learn that either way you look at it, war can never solve a problem. We have to find ways that we can, as Black people, on the table and talk things and try to figure things out, because at the end of the day, the innocent victims are the children, the families, is the village whole that's been destroyed. So I was just trying to capture really a little bit of that in that poem.
You did capture it, by the way. I thought you captured it very well. And okay, I want a copy of your book now. I got to get it. Okay, so we got to hook up. I'm gonna have to hunt you down and get to buy that book, because that was beautiful. That's powerful. It made me, right now as we speak, France is inflamed. There's a young African was shot and killed, and the protester in all the different cities throughout France, and it's gotten really pretty serious. So this is a worldwide phenomenon, all that's going on, the raging wars, and also the police brutality and the senseless taking of lives and all that. And so, and I like when you said they joined, I forget the phrase you used, but you said it's almost like they just joined the club, the mourners have now joined this,
Yes.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, it's sad, but I think I hate to say the way I'm saying it, but I think as people, we really have become numb to some of this, because it's like, even just here in our area, 1 minute a family is losing somebody senselessly, next minute another family is losing. It's like, which one do you want? At a certain time you some become sensitive. You shouldn't, but just because it's become like a routine, we have our system has started accepting such things when we should really be revolting about the frequency and the senselessness of it all.
Amen, amen. The other thing that really disturbed me over the last few years is I work in the hospital every day, and I have seen, so many people die and suffer from COVID. But there are still people walking around saying COVID wasn't real. It was a hoax, or, it was overblown. And so I'm going to read a piece here that I wrote concerning COVID. And this was a real incident, so to speak, that happened. It's a real incident, period. And I called it the pandemic diary. And so it says this: the door to the chapel has a distinctive sound. It moves slowly as it opens and slower as it closes. It breaks the silence of the prayer and the meditator and the griever. It pushes and pulls out to the hospital hallway, always presenting a danger to anyone passing too close, especially if their hands are full or their minds are elsewhere. My small office is inside the chapel. I hear the prayers, the anguished cries, the silence of despair. I occasionally hear the nervous laughter of waiting family and friends who are not allowed to visit their loved ones because, like everything else, the rules of engagement have changed. On this day, the chapel door opens, but the sound is different. The high-pitched cry drowns out the distinctive sound of the door. The cry is loud and gut-wrenching. The cry is telling a story. I don't know the beginning or the ending of the story, but I have heard the story before. I sat for a minute listening, leaning forward in my chair, frozen and lasered in to the sound of the cry. I opened my office door and walked toward the sound, the cry, the storyteller in despair. I introduced myself as the chaplain. I spoke with an emphatic voice with the hope that he would allow me to enter into his story. She would not take the shot, and now she has the virus, he said, trying to catch his breath. My daughter also has the virus because she followed everything my wife told her about the shots. He talked and I listened. He was a master storyteller and I felt his pain, his anger, and his despair. I don't want them to die, is what I heard him say most. Together we prayed and prayed and prayed to the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. He told me how much he loved his wife, and he spoke with conviction. His face lit up and sparkled through the tears of sadness which were ever flowing. He was present with me physically, but his spirit was in the room with his wife, the absolute love of his life. He looked at me and said, after a long pause, my wife and daughter cannot die. They're all I have to live for. I didn't have to say a word. I couldn't find the words to say. He stood up like a weight was pulling his shoulders down. He was bent inside and out. He hugged and shook hands. We hugged and shook hands. I gave him my blessed assurance that I would be there for him and his family as an ever-present help for the Lord. The distinctive sound of the door sent him on his way. The next day, his wife died, and we cried together. He said, the last thing she said to me was, I am sorry. By the grace of God, 14 days later, his daughter was released from the hospital. I was honored to see him smile. He said, thank you, brother. And my black hand and his white hand claps together strong. And I said, no, thank you, brother. And may God be with you. And I was sure God was. And that's a piece I call Pandemic Diary. And it was just an absolute real story of, the pain, suffering. And so I just marvel at people who stand there and they want to debate me about whether or not the pandemic was real. We lost 1 billion people. Are you kidding me? But it is what it is. And that's the other fight that we have. And now that, it's dissipating, it's going away, but it's still raging. I'm still running into people who get COVID and who are losing their life, Yeah. So what can you do? But this is why we write. We write to tell the story, whether it be a fictional piece or the real life story or whatever, and I always use the phrase that we're all living human documents. We've seen a lot, we've heard a lot, we've experienced a lot, we know a lot, right? And God has shown us a lot. And so we have documented these things. And when we are able to write and pour that stuff about ourselves, we become that light, Sister Christine, that you talked about, and we begin to shine, right? And somebody is blessed by it. And so that's why we write, And so I really encourage everyone out there who's listening to this program, who has enjoyed this conversation with Sister Christine and Sister Bassie, and also Dr. Snowden and myself. I hope that you will, be inspired to write and, write about something. I like the part where you said be passionate about it. Something that you have passion about, and by the way, use your own language. I love the poem by Jane Cortez that says, find your voice and use it, use your voice and find it, it's your voice, find it and use it.
It's yours.
That's right. Somebody's going to hear it. Somebody's going to resonate with it. It's going to speak to somebody. Yes. Good stuff. Good stuff. Sister Bassie, bless us with a prayer in your own native language. Go on, I know you can do it.
Yes, she can.
I don't even understand what you're saying. I just know the Spirit's going to come right up out of you.
Dr. Nathan, thank you. I just want to go with that, this prayer that the Lord has invited all Christians to pray in my native language. Dudwa lugban ayuandua zabu bia nyinu wo yena si mbolfe ayop babi bijibiani ya mozi ozubi biani se bia karwobo anumbol bia tuboba karbi biandi tuwaler bi mo bobla ovaga bi mbazam. Amen.
Amen. Beautiful.
Thank you.
And I'm going to leave it just like that. I don't even need to know what you said. All I know is you said it.
It's our Father. It's just our fathers in my native language. The prayer that the Lord has, it's in the Bible.
Lord's prayer.
Everybody knows that.
Prayer in your native
the
language.
Lord prayers.
Yes, wonderful. Okay, now I do know what it is. That's beautiful.
Yes, I don't know if you know. I saw somebody here. I see somebody here, right? Father
Yeah,
Bernard.
it's
I think he's with us.
Father Bernard.
He's online.
Yes.
He's
Oh,
a
someone
great
else?
man.
Okay. Oh, wonderful.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's a great man.
He's a
No,
future author too.
you need to hear him.
Listen,
You
I'm
need
right
to
on him.
hear him, Nat. Yeah, he joined us. He's a great man.
Can you hear?
Wow.
Go ahead and speak, sir.
I'm not good with this internet Zoom thing. Well, I don't know who's a great man. I'm here to learn. Sorry, came late. I got stuff going on and just came in at the last minute. I'm sorry. No, I
No,
missed.
sorry, we're glad you joined us. Yeah.
Yeah, but I love the last part. I love Dr. Nathaniel says something. We are all living documents. I love that.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
I'll take that with me.
All right.
Thank you.
Tell us about yourself. Where are you from originally?
Okay, so Father Bernard, I'm a priest. I lead a church here in Elizabethtown, St. Peter.
Okay.
I'm from Nigeria originally, so.
Ah, fantastic. Wonderful, wonderful. Yes, indeed.
I love that. So thanks, Christine, for inviting us. Hopefully, we get more invite like this in the future.
Oh, we're gonna make it happen. Let's make it happen. Yeah. You know, we do this program every Friday night, and you know, it's essentially a writer's platform kind of thing. But I love just interviewing people and making this happen. So this was really a treat tonight. This was special, at least for me. Hope everybody else felt the same way. I see your picture now. I see you on camera.
I to get this going now. I finally got it.
All right. Good, good. We're also a bit joined by Dr. Dan Snowden. Dr. Snowden, you still there? Okay, he may have had to click off. Okay. Anyhow, but yeah, so how long have you been in Elizabethtown?
4 years.
Okay.
4.5, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think it was 4 in December.
All right, all right. You said you're from Nigeria.
What do you say?
Did I hear you say you're from Nigeria?
Yeah, home is Nigeria.
Wonderful, wonderful. We had a good brother here by the name of Alphonse, and I'm trying to think of his full name. He, I think it's Orthodox Greek. I could be wrong. He wore the long black robe and the hat, the black, and he's a chaplain, and so he was with us, but he went back to Baltimore because he really was trying to find employment here as well. But he's a good brother, yeah. But I think he was.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Come across him. So, well, you did join us near the end here, but I'm glad you did join us. And like you said, you can always make this happen more often than not. Tell us a little bit about your church.
My church.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know if you know where Elizabeth is, between Harrisburg and Lancaster.
Many times.
Yeah. So St. Peter Elizabeth was, I think it was started in 1799. It's an old church.
Wow. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Some of the oldest churches in the Diocese of Harrisburg.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a small historic church built in 1799, and we have a new church built in 1999.
Okay.
So it's a church of about, I think we have about 800 families now, household registered. So
800. Oh my goodness.
800.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to get 8 people, and he has 800.
We have 800 families registered.
That's fantastic. That's wonderful.
Yeah, it's quite busy.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. And you're the pastor there?
Yes, sir.
All right. Fantastic. You're doing a great work, brother. Yes, indeed. Touching lives. That's what it's all about.
We're about to find ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Good stuff. I tell you, this is wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, I'm in Harrisburg. Yes. No, I'm born and raised in Harrisburg. In fact, yeah, born and raised. Yeah, yes, indeed.
But were you at Christine's book launch?
I don't know. Where was your book launch, Christine? Where was that and when?
What's March?
For your latest book?
March, right? Okay, it wasn't there.
No, not for the latest book. No, yeah, not for the latest.
What's March? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, where was your book launch? Where was the book launch, by the way?
It was Colonial Park Mall. You know the hall that is at the mall.
Yes.
Yes, yes,
Wonderful,
that's where
wonderful.
we March.
Okay. Oh, nice. All right.
March 19.
Good stuff. Great, great stuff. Yeah. So all three of you know each other then, obviously, because the ladies spoke very highly of you immediately. They said you're a great band. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, we do. We do know each other.
It's too nice.
That's wonderful.
It's thank you for that word. Yeah,
No,
well,
I won't let you go like that. You need to share. You have a lot to share. That's why I want you to say something.
Thank you. Thank you for your prayer to your language. I love that.
Yes. Yeah, I like that a lot. Very good. Very good. Yeah. So
Christine, what's your next thing? What are you up to?
I thought you were gonna ask her what next. What next after this?
What's the next thing?
Yeah, I was following her. I was like, wow, she's really moving here. This is all right. Way to do it.
No, I go with the flow of the Holy Spirit. Where He leads, I follow.
Okay. All right, just keep us informed that I can be part of it. Whatever. All right.
Yes.
Thank you for the good work you're doing.
Amen to that. Amen to that.
Thank you.
How about you, Sister Basi? What do you have coming up? What's on your agenda here?
Yeah, I have in 2 weeks, I think next month. The month starts tomorrow. So I have the convention coming up in Washington. Yeah, and I also have the multicultural picnic in August, the last Sunday of August at the City Island.
Oh.
It's every year is an annual event that I always have, and I'm always happy to have more people and people that don't know about the multicultural ministry or the Black Catholic. Everybody is invited. So we have it's a great time that we share together: music, worship, dance, food, any type of food, African food. If you want to eat great food from Cameroon, this is the best, best occasion. Yeah. And myself, I can show you what I'm able to make homemade. With no chemical, nothing at all.
Tell us that date again. Tell us that date and where again? What's the date of
the third Sunday of August.
Okay.
The third Sunday, yeah.
At
starting
City
at
Island,
1.
right?
City Island, yeah. City Island starting at 1 p.m. 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Yep.
I'm putting it down. I'm putting it down.
Yeah, put it down. You'll be there. I'll be happy to have you.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. I didn't know that. So you've done this for a number of years?
Yeah, I've been in the ministry. I've been in the ministry since 2019. And before that, I'm in Harrisburg since 2011.
Okay, wonderful.
Remember I told you I moved to United States in 2010. And I landed in Atlanta. Yeah, then I moved to Harrisburg, 2011. From that time, I'm around. Now, I don't know where will be the next step, but I'm still there in Harrisburg.
I'm glad God put you here.
Yeah.
All three of you planted for a reason.
Yeah. No, and I'm happy. I'm happy with everything that I've been done in Harrisburg area, the way I get myself integrate in the society. I do a lot, and I'm really, really happy, to be honest.
Wonderful. Amen. Amen.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we got to make this happen again. I really enjoyed this evening, and thank you all for coming on. And I want to thank you, Brother Chris. Brother Chris, I don't know if you could show your face in the place. And he makes this all happen for us. He created this radio station that now is morphed to a TV, international TV platform, really. Did you want to tell us a bit about The Voice and invite people on, Brother Chris? You're muted right now.
You're muted.
Yeah, you're muted.
Chris.
You're muted. Huh?
Praise the Lord again. Good evening, everyone. Again, we do greet you in Jesus' name. Again, who to know is a right to life eternal. Again, I got a hungry little one here. I'll keep it very brief. She wanted to order pizza, and she twisted my arm to do so. So we got to pick it up here shortly. But the Voice platform is actually a multimedia platform. It's been up and running since 2014. We've actually reached 114 nations with the gospel of Jesus Christ and our community compelling content. We have a webcasting studio located in Uptown Harrisburg, here in Harrisburg. Christine actually was there promoting her first book. When not too many people know who she was, but now she's a household name now.
Yes.
So we're so very thankful. We interviewed her with her first book, How I Discovered My Purpose, and we were just blown away by her gifting, by her anointing, and by the way that she presented what God has given to her for such a time as this. Sister Bassie, if I could call you that, you really blessed me tonight when you mentioned about we have to give the next generation the truth. And it's not a one-person job. It's all hands-on-deck job, and it takes all of us in our different giftings, different lanes, different callings to make that happen. So I applaud you for being in the forefront of that effort. And prayerfully, Dr. Gadsden, you'll have them both back, and even Brother Bernard, as well as the Lord so leads. Then real quick, one more other thing I'll share real quick. We also have a international TV platform as well. It's voicetv.org, again, voicetv.org, where content creators, social media influencers like yourself can have a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week presence on the internet. We handle all the technical aspects of that. Oprah has a channel, TBN has a channel, ABC, NBC, BET, the Food Network. You can have your own branded channel for less than $3 a day on voicetv.org. So we encourage you to check it out. Dr. Gadsden has 2 channels on that network. The Writer's Wordshop channel, it features 24 hours, 7-day-a-week Writer's Wordshop. A lot of the guests, a lot of the past shows that we've produced here at The Voice. Also, the Life Esteem channel as well, which hosts all of his past TV programs for the last, how many years, Dr. Gadsden, with Life Esteem?
Close to 30, yeah.
So we actually have created a wonderful network that keeps all those broadcasts that he's ever created alive and presented in a linear fashion right on our TV network as well. So thank you, Dr. Gadsden. That's just in short. Again, if you want more information, check out our fan page on Facebook. Again, it's The Voice 17104 Harrisburg, PA, or online at voice17104.com, or again, voicetv.org. So thank you so much, Dr. Gadsden, and God bless you all in Jesus' name.
Tell Sister Melissa we say hello. Hope she's doing well. You know, yes, indeed.
He fell asleep while I was here doing the workshop here online, but she'll wake up once I come back with that pizza in my hand, I'm sure.
You mean to tell me she's sleeping on my program? Man.
Well, she's had a full day.
That's right. By the way, this is a nice ad in the Wordshop magazine promoting the station. So I just want you to know that, kept to our word. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well, listen, I want to say good night to everybody, but God bless you all. Thank you for blessing us with your words and your spirit. It's so good to see you all and meet you all. And I know that we'll do this again. And let's stay in touch, okay?
All right. Okay.
All right. Let's stay in touch. Right. And God bless everybody. See you next time. Thank you, Christine. Thank you, Sister Bassie. Thank you, my brother.
Have a good evening, everyone.
All right.
Shalom.
All right. Yes, indeed.